your friend. I know you'll leave me there. I can make it through the day when I take the time to pray and I start my day with you.
I believe we've about run out of time, but anyways.
Give your heart to him, become a believer in the one who is our lost soul receiver. There's nobody like him. You've never seen anybody like Jesus. You've never met anybody like him.
The views, opinions, positions, or strategies expressed on WLAF TV 12 do not necessarily reflect those of the staff, management, ownership, or advertisers of WLAF TV 12, 1450 WLAF Radio, FM 100.9, or 1450WLAF.com.
Hey, this is Mark with Insurance Consultants. You're used to seeing Blake McCoy sitting here, and I'm up here cutting a new commercial for y'all to look at. I help people have Medicare and TennCare, and if you've got any questions about what you're eligible for, whether you should be getting extra benefits, is your plan changing, or do you even need anything to go with your Medicare, those are the types of questions I can help you with. Please give me a call at 1-866-691-5571. I'll be glad to give you a call, and as always, we charge nothing for our services. If we can help you in any way, we'll be glad to do it. Y'all have a good day.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, I'm Ann Love with Linda Kilgore State Farm Agency. I have worked in the insurance and financial services industry for over 20 years, formerly with the John R.W. Brown Agency. I'm a native Campbell County and enjoy helping people with their insurance needs. Stop by and see me for all your insurance needs.
With a full line of independent rear suspension options, the all-new Foreman Rubicon and Rancher automatic DCT models are equally ready to work and have fun. Part of the growing ATV family from Honda.
Why do my customers choose Husqvarna Power Equipment? That's easy, because my landscaping crew has to rely on a durable product.
I need the performance and quality that Husqvarna provides.
And the innovative products that help me move on with my day.
For maintenance parts or accessories, I don't have to go far. I know my Husqvarna dealer is right around the corner. Make the impossible possible and visit a Husqvarna dealer near you.
Visit your local Husqvarna dealer or go to Husqvarna.com for more information.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome again to
Campbell County issues. Tonight's show is also being brought to you by True Value Homes. True Value Homes in Huntsville. Folks, at exit 141, and it's about 19 miles to True Value Homes. And you get better prices there. They don't have a large overhead. It's over there in a field. They got it fixed over. And folks, I went in to look at one of the homes last week. Just absolutely magnificent. And I'm going to have to find out some prices and stuff. But the thing about it is, you can get into those homes. If you've got property and a deed for that property, you can get into the home. So that's just a great deal. And Keith Klothfelder, you know, most of you know him here in Campbell County. He's doing a good business over there. An absolute good business. So something's going right. So hope you'll all get over there and check him out and tell him RL sent you. Ron's Golf Cart and La Follette Indoor Flea Market. It's located behind Long John Silver's, and it's in the old Big Lot building. Folks, right now is the time to get out there and get your order in for a golf cart. It's just 4 or 5 weeks, and it's all functions go, and it has just a lot of good stuff in the flea market section. It's all priced. You're on the air.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. This is RL.
Oh, I was trying to get a hold of Mr. Waddell. I'm sorry.
No problem. Thank you. Okay, folks, and there's no school tomorrow. No school for all you school children. I know my little grandson is just going to be as happy as he could be because he don't have to go to school, and he'll be out there on a sled or something other rolling down one of them hills. So, but anyway, give us a call. We'll talk to you about anything you want to talk about. I read the headlines here, especially the Journal Leader, and hey, for once I've seen a real, an informative, good story. A real good story about a father come in contact or found his son that spent 3.5 years here in Caryville, and no one knowing what and I guess his father, his family was hunting for him, and they were in Ohio. And the story is just amazing that the guy would not take shoes, clothing, or anything like that. And you know he needed help, but it's just a real good story that it was nice. And then I read Ann Hester's column and about the telephone where the woman, I guess in a bathroom or a restroom, neglecting her kid long enough that the law got involved. We're looking for a cell phone, and that was a story that reminded me of something that happened. It happened at Pioneer. Actually, it happened to two people that lived in Scott County. One was going home and one was coming this way, right near the Pioneer post office. And a young lady dropped her phone and was looking down, trying to get her phone, and hit this other car head on and killed the other driver. Folks, if that phone drops, or if you're smoking a cigarette and that fire falls out down in your lap, you've got to get over to the side of the road. You can't continue to try to drive and look down, smack and go on. You gotta take care of it. And phones right now is I guess causing more wrecks than drunk people. That's hard to imagine, but everybody don't get drunk and drive, but everybody got a cell phone and drives just about it. And we just absolutely need to slow it down. Now, I know I talk on the phone whenever I'm driving, but what I do is well, let's just say 95 times out of 100, I'll dial that phone while I'm sitting still, and then I'll talk, and I hold it up to my ear, but I keep my mind on the road, because I have enough problem staying between the lines now. The older you get, the harder it is to stay between those lines. Anybody disagree with that? But anyway, like I said, folks, I've done this thing for a long time, and I hope to do it at least 2 more years, and I will be 75 years old in 2017. I will be 75. That's where I want to go. But I don't know, my health keeps messing around and messing around. Now, this Wednesday, I'll have, my eyes will be operated on this Wednesday, but I'll be here next Sunday night if the good Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise. I will try to be here. Now, last night in Scott County was the first time in 22 years, the first week of April, we will be doing the show and doing a show in, excuse me, and we opened up the station over there in 1st of April in 1994. And last night was the first time, because of weather. Now, there was a few times that we didn't have a show. My father was very ill, and so I quit doing the show for about 6 weeks, 6 or 7 weeks, because I just told everybody I'm going to go take a break. And that was in '99, and we've been doing the show for 5 years. And so anyway, about 2 weeks before my father passed away, my father said, "Ariel, it's time you get back on that show. I want to watch you a few more times." Well, he watched me two weeks, and my father passed away. He passed away on September the 26th, 1999. But, you know, I've enjoyed it all the way. And I've had a lot of tragedies to happen that would even come close to what's happened here this week. And all I can say, I have no idea, but my heart goes out to his family. All of you know that Mr. Slusher passed away this week. And I didn't know Mr. Slusher very well. As far as knowing Mr. Slusher, he was on my show twice, and we talked a few times. But as far as I'd seen him one time at Hardy's, and I don't remember ever talking to him at the courthouse. He was at the courthouse a lot, and I would see him there, but I've never, as far as speaking to him or having any conversation with him, I didn't. But like I said, folks, every one of you out there know just as much about what happened as I do. And like I say, my thoughts goes out to the family. Just None of us knows what happened. I don't, but anyway, that's where that stands. But anyway, I'll talk to you about anything you want to talk about. In the reason we weren't open last night, I would have had probably an unsafe journey to get to the station because I live off the side of the road, and it's probably 3/8 of a mile, between a quarter and a half a mile from my house to the road, but it's about halfway down the hill to get to the road and halfway up a hill to get to the road. So, and that getting to the road from my house there's still 6 or 7 inches at least of snow on that road. You're on the air.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you doing all right?
Oh, I'm doing fine.
Well, I'm glad to see you're here tonight. I really am.
Appreciate it.
With all this weather and everything. Hey, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
You made a comment on your show either last week or the week before. I know it was in one of the last 2 meetings. And you took a serious minute and you stated, nobody called in to ask, you just seriously stated that the La Follette Senior Center Board had a meeting and that they voted to file the lawsuit that they filed against 5 people, one of them being Jim Slusher. Who gave you that information?
I'm not going to say here on the air, but I'm just like you guys. I got an informant just like you guys have or whatever. I can honestly say that I never have had a meeting with any of them as a meeting.
I was asking about
And like I say, that
who gave you that information?
Well, if someone has said that they would subpoena me, and I'm that's fine with me. Then, because I don't want to get involved in no lawsuit or anything. Because
know that you elevated this to a higher degree, and that you could possibly be subpoenaed to answer that question.
I'll answer any question. I have no problem because I've not, without any question in my mind or in my.
Okay, if you could answer any question, then.
Well, I can answer.
Answer my question.
No, I will answer that in front of any lawyer of anybody's or anything that I know that I have absolutely.
But if you say it in front of a lawyer, it becomes public record.
Well, that's fine.
So what's wrong with saying it now?
Because, like I said, if it gets to where I need to be represented, I will do that. Because I don't have any.
What was the reason you made that statement on your show?
Well, because like I said, I will answer that whenever. In fact, about it, Okay, let's get down to some details. Was it a regular meeting or a specially called meeting? I have no idea. I honestly do not have an idea.
And wait a minute, can you give me the date and time of that meeting?
Have no idea.
You know who was present at that meeting?
Have no idea. I just know they made
the motion to file the lawsuit.
I have no idea.
Who seconded the motion to file the lawsuit?
Have no idea.
Who voted for the lawsuit and who voted against it?
I have no idea. I really don't. I was told by. Wait a minute. I was told by a person that everybody voted for it, and you.
Okay, now everybody. There's 13 members of that board.
Are
you saying everybody was there?
No. I'm not saying that at all.
Well, you said
I said everybody supported. Now, how they supported it or whether they was there or by proxy or whatever, I have no idea.
Well, if they held a meeting, it's public record because that's a 5013C corporations, public corporations, and if they held a meeting, it's public record, and those minutes are a public record.
Well, I have, see, you're trying to ask me questions that I have no idea.
You're the one that talked about it on your show a week or two ago.
I'm just
You're
saying.
the one that said they held a meeting to justify that lawsuit.
No,
Why would you even bring that up when nobody called in and asked?
Oh, yes, they was. Oh, yes. I mean, and we have all those records or whatever. All I'm saying, I know that with, I guess with emails and with conversations and whatever, that there's people out there thinking that I had something to do with that lawsuit. I had nothing. In fact, about it, I can take a lie detector test.
You seem to pass on information about the senior center and a lawsuit that nobody else has access to.
Well, they'll have it. Well, let me say this. I mean, myself, I have no idea. I mean, honest to God, I do not, and I can take any kind of test that anybody wants to give me.
Well, you know this lawsuit's been elevated to a higher degree now, don't you?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You got your foot in the muck.
No, I don't.
You sucked into it.
I'm not worried for 1 minute about what.
Of course not. You never are. You brag about that all the time.
No, I've not done anything.
Well, you've taken a position against Miss Murphy the whole time.
No, I did not take a position against
Yes, you did.
No.
Over.
No, listen.
She
I'm not going to argue with you.
Down there.
Listen, I'm not going to argue with you.
She had no rights.
That's not true. That's not true.
You said her rights stopped where theirs began.
That's exactly right.
But over and over.
People's rights. Everybody has rights. So we'll have, and I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer of who's right and who's wrong. And like I said, and I've said it all along, that has to be.
I'll tell you what. You know this thing's been elevated to a higher degree, and there won't be any sympathy in this county for the people who caused the problem.
Well, I didn't cause it.
Well,
I did not cause it.
I know you're not a direct cause, but you've been complicit with the people who did.
No, I didn't cause it.
And helpful to them.
There's another show, and in a lot of things, and I just had a different opinion of what the other show had. It was a simple
Well, the other show took the right opinion.
Well, I don't know.
Had been wrongfully thrown out of the senior center, and you all along have said that they were justified in throwing them out.
No, I did not.
Miss Murphy caused trouble.
No, I did not. It's all on tape, buddy. It's all on tape.
I know that. That's good.
So I don't have to. I'm not concerned for a minute that I did anything.
I thought you would have the courage to tell me.
I'm not going to tell you.
Told you.
Listen, friend. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you anything because you're involved in a lawsuit, and I'm not going to tell you anything to where you can say I said this, said and that. Because I'm not stupid, but I might look like it. But
you said there was a board meeting, and all I wanted to know, Ariel, was when was that board?
I have no idea because I ain't never been there to no board meeting.
Yeah, but who told you? Who gave you that information? Talk to them.
Just like I told you this now. I told you that if there's a lawyer sitting there and me under oath, and I'll talk to a lawyer because I'm not going to talk to you.
Well,
not about that. And I'm
so
not.
You turned your back on a lot of friends on this issue.
Well, when you find out the truth, you'll find out who turned the back on who. Talk to you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
You're on the air.
Yeah, Ariel, buddy, yeah. Don't you think you put people in Campbell County down enough? Don't you think it's time you go back to Scott County?
Well, who have I put down? Huh? Who have I put down? Listen, ma'am, I've not put down anybody, and unless Jim and them refuses to let me come on here anymore, or I get in some kind of a trouble, I'll be here till I'm 75, as long as my health holds out. You're on the air.
Hey, brother.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh, don't let them get to you tonight.
Oh,
Your face is starting to get a little red.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm fine, but I really am truly sorry about what happened.
Well, I am too, and anybody with any kind of sense would be. I mean, I didn't see eye to eye with the man, but he was passionate in what he done, you know, and I commend him for that, you know. So I believe he loves this county, you know. I truly do.
I don't doubt that.
So, and but I wouldn't get involved in nothing. You're not in no muddy waters, and I'd stay and just in the same waters you're in and same waters you've always been in.
And that's exactly the way I.
You don't say nothing that to my knowledge of my shows, I've never seen you point any fingers at anybody either way. Maybe some at me because I'm a Republican, but I can't help it. You're a poor Democrat. It's just something that's in your blood or something, brother. I've tried. I've tried for a few years now to work on you.
Well, let me ask you this question. Did it change your mind whenever Trump said I could walk out on 5th Street, I believe he said 5th Street, and I could shoot somebody, and I'm not going to lose a vote over it?
It was the most foolish remark, of course, I've ever heard. I mean, he's made several.
Oh.
And listen, I'm a Republican, but I mean, I'm not a Trump man. The only thing that I care about Donald Trump now is he's got the country up. You know, and I think we're going to have a good presidential turnout. I truly, truly do. And the man's liable, more than likely, going to win this.
I doubt if he'll be president, but
I don't doubt it for a second now, because
I do. I doubt it very much.
I wouldn't doubt it. I'd almost put money on it. But that's how certain I mean, I don't see, because what he says is true. Now, you cannot tell me one remark the man has said that what he said enough foolish remarks over the last 3-4 months, and his numbers go up every time that he's made an ignorant remark.
I agree with you.
Every time.
But here's, and you know, I love politics, and I wish everybody would pay more attention to it. But
I do too.
I really do believe that there is so much division in the Republican Party right now. I mean, Trump has never gotten over 50% support.
No, but I mean, who have you ever seen have over 50% at this time of a race?
Well, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, I think that with the way the nation is now, these radicals out there, somebody will hurt the man, and I hope not.
I don't think so, because it didn't happen with our current president, and I was worried. I feared.
Yeah, I was like you. I mean, I thought, well, he'll be assassinated for his.
I feared
he still got.
I really truly did, and I'm a Republican, and I feared for the man for that. I did, but I can. At least we can say our country's got a little wiser and maybe a little less racist. I mean, I know that, you know, people still claim a lot of things and stuff, with race, but it's getting better. It is getting better. People are starting. The younger generation is definitely 35 and under. I mean, they're completely different than 35 and over.
I agree with you.
And it's a good thing. And, we got a lot of ignorance that's dying off, you know, day by day, because a lot of older people and my age people and your age people, you know, I don't have them views. I don't have race on my body about it. But there's plenty of people our age that do.
Right.
You know, that are still ignorant, you know, to that. But now, as far as Trump, my thing is with that, I'm a Bush man.
I mean, I'm Jim Die Hard. That's my man. Oh, he ain't got 3 hopes in hell of winning this. He ain't no way that he could win it. No way.
No, he spent more money than all of them put together, hadn't he?
Excuse me?
He done spent more money than all of the rest of them put together.
Yeah. Money's no factor, and he gets the donations. I mean, he's got the big money to support him.
Right.
He just his brothers killed him. I mean, he's absolutely killed him.
Right.
His father really didn't have him much justice neither, and both were good men. Everybody goes on with W. He was a good man. You got to realize people don't realize to take on what was put on his plate as early in his term as it was. And any president, whether you were Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever you would be, if you would have had that plate, because it's changed our world to this day. Our world has changed since September 11th.
Right.
So any president, that would have been in there and had that to deal with would have had to do about 90% of the things that man did. That's just the way it is. And whether people believe it or disagree with that, they can naysayers. That's fine, because everybody's entitled to opinion.
Right.
But that was definitely a terrible thing to put on any man.
Okay.
I know you have to get your break. Go ahead, and if you get a little slow, I'm gonna flip over and see what your partner's gonna do on your debate there. A little bit. I'm gonna flip back and forth on your commercial time.
Okay, buddy. Thank you for the call.
Okay, brother. See you
Okay. Okay. Now we're going to. I know the phone's been ringing, but I'll get your calls right after the break. We got to run to the break, and we will be back after these words from our sponsors.
Hey y'all, it's Mark Beckman with Insurance Consultants. Appreciate you tuning in tonight. You're used to seeing Blake McCoy sitting here, and tonight I'm going to sit in, and if you need any questions answered about Medicare, TennCare, how these benefits work together, do you qualify for extra help, those sorts of things, I can sure help out. Please give me a call, 866-691-5571.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment. With that country kick, it's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, I'm Linda Kilgore. This is my 35th year with State Farm, my 25th year here in Campbell County. I'm not a high-pressure salesman. I like to just sit down with my customers and help them decide what's right for them. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
Razor, Ranger, Sportsman, Ace. If you live for the outdoors, there's a Polaris to match your passion. Confident, comfortable, capable. That's Ace. With a solo cockpit, automotive controls, independent suspension, all-wheel drive, and up to 45 horses of fuel-injected power. Calling it revolutionary would be an understatement. Polaris, the world leader in off-road innovation.
Why do my customers choose Husqvarna Power Equipment? That's easy, because my landscaping crew has to rely on a durable product.
I need the performance and quality that Husqvarna provides.
And the innovative products that help me move on with my day.
For maintenance parts or accessories, I don't have to go far. I know my Husqvarna dealer is right around the corner. Make the impossible possible and visit a Husqvarna dealer near you.
Visit your local Husqvarna dealer or go to Husqvarna.com for more information.
Okay, folks, we're back and got my guest here. We got a thing I told you we wanted to talk about insurance a while ago, but True Value Homes bringing you tonight's show. Their telephone number is 423-663-8633. Keith Klothfelder. And folks, if you've never been in some of those homes, I guarantee you would be amazed. Also, Ron's Golf Cart and La Follette Flea Market, indoor flea market. It's just absolutely fantastic, great prices, and a good person to deal with. And also, one of the things that I had mentioned to you a little earlier tonight, that we was going to talk about insurance. I know that I had talked to Bob earlier today about coming on and talk, because it's been extended to the last day of this month. And I know that the guy come on with me a week before, last Sunday's week ago. We didn't have a show last night because we couldn't get to the station.
Okay.
That's the first time in 22 years.
Well, we closed Saturday, so I understand.
So anyway, I asked Bob to come by and look at and see if there's some people out there that still need some help. And let me get this phone call right here, Bob,
Okay.
and then you folks hold your call until Bob gets time to. You're on the air. You're on the air.
Yes, RL, I just wanted you to know you do a great job on that show, and I like watching you every Monday night when you're on there. And, those callers just calling in, just ignore it. If they don't want to watch it, they just need to turn the TV off.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much, ma'am. Okay, thanks. Okay, Bob. Now I know that.
Hey, before I say anything, I've got to tell somebody out there in TV land. That's what they told me to say hello to Claudine, and that she cooks the best cornbread in the world.
No, my wife does.
Well, okay, second best, and that's the reason Gary and I are so fat. Okay, I got to say that. Okay, Claudine, go for it.
Well, just make the sub and bring it up here and a glass of cornbread.
Yeah, some milk, and you bring yours, and we'll test it out.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. I don't know. We'll have a tester. The United Healthcare is extended it through February the 29th.
Oh, is it?
Yes. This is Medicare. Those people who have lost the coverage because they didn't realize they had United Healthcare and you was on the Advantage plan, they extended the sign-up period to February the 29th. But if you sign up in the month of January and you know you don't have insurance, and there's several of you all have come to the drugstore, didn't have insurance, have not come back. If you sign up sometime this week, you'll be eligible as February 1st. If you sign up sometime in February, you won't be eligible to March 1st. So you would be a lot better off. I know that it snowed and a lot of things happened, but the government waits for no one. And so be sure to get down there. Hugh Neal told me today that he would be there rest of the week and he will assist you with it. Also, the insurance exchange, the Obamacare, this is the last week to sign up on it, and it will go into effect March 1st, after the 15th. Up to the 15th, it was going to February 1st. After the 15th, it'll be March 1st, and this is the last week you can sign up on Obamacare. I have, I guess, 70-80% of my employees now have taken it's cheaper than the group insurance that we provide, and it's better insurance. Every one of them. I mean, I don't understand the
Obamacare.
Yes, I haven't understood why they want to appeal it, because they evidently haven't actually talked to people who have it, because it's a very good insurance.
Well, I know I had
at a very good premium and a lot less out of your pocket. I mean, that's all you're looking at.
Well, I had a mock election on it. Who wants rid of Obamacare over in Scott County? Who wants?
Well, they're just they're just fed misinformation.
Well, it was 2-1. Don't get rid of Obamacare.
No, 21 million people now have insurance where they never could afford it.
Right.
And you know, it can go as low as $50-$60 according to you, up to $500 or $600. But you know, a group plan with a family plan costs the drugstore. I mean, cost us $1,200-$1,300.
That's what I was paying for.
Yeah.
But now, there is one thing, and I want to make clear, and I'm not saying something that's probably not true, but if you don't have insurance and you make more than $12,000 a year,
you will be fined.
You will be fined $695.
Close to $700.
Regardless. And I know a guy at home. I mean, he calls me every time that I'm on the show, and just raising Cain because they fined him almost $700.
You could take that money, put it in a plan that you could afford. I mean, you know, just for you. Pay for your prescriptions, pay for your doctor visits, and a partial. You have to pay co-pays, and have some hospital coverage, and say that $700 go for health care. You're gonna lose it anyway.
Right, and they just can't accept that.
No, and the other thing is they've raised the. You know, some people have extra help. You've heard the word extra help. So they've raised, the government this year has raised, if you're a single person with Medicare and you don't have extra help, this is people who doesn't, if you have TennCare and Medicare, you already have extra help. I'm not talking to you folks. I'm talking to people who get extra help because of low income and or don't get extra help. You never applied because you don't think you would qualify. So for the individual, $13,500. If you don't draw more than $13,500, you can get on. You may. I'm not going to say it's a few other things are involved, but you need to come to the drugstore and talk to Mr. Hugh Neal, and see he can see if you qualify for extra help. For a family of two, it's $27,500. So I have a lot of patients that just don't know to ask. And all they have to do is ask and get some information, and it will reduce their premiums, reduce their co-pays, reduce their doctor co-pays, and reduce their hospital bills with extra help. And the government has raised that standard a little bit, quite a bit. I mean, you know, a couple $1,000. And so if you're in that particular situation, Mr. Neal is at Riggs Drug downtown Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 about every day. I mean, during the snow he wasn't here. But if you fall in where you don't have any insurance and you need Obamacare, this is the week to do it. Go down, you have to make $12,000 or more. Okay? Right. And you file taxes and all that. People who make a draw less than $13,500 individually, $27,500 as for two. If you draw less than that, I would come down and see you qualify for extra help. And those people who don't have insurance have come in and we've talked to them and said you've been dropped by United Healthcare because you're on the Advantage plan. They're not in Campbell County any longer. You need to be eligible by February 1st. You need to come in this week. Okay, so I think I covered it, didn't I?
Well, there's one other thing I want to mention. One of the things that Bob said, you have to ask to get information, or you're listening, because here on the show, I know that we've had people on top of people talking to you about this, but folks, I went 5 years, my wife and I did, and paying the insurance. Had no idea that there was an insurance out there that would help us. And again, I'm not bragging, but we were able to pay for our insurance. But because we didn't ask, what could we get the same premiums for or better than what we were paying? In 5 years, she and I spent over $12,000 on insurance.
On premiums.
On premiums alone.
Yeah. And the Advantage plans, except for Humana in this county, are zero.
Right.
You pay no premium. for those who, you know, for extra help or non-extra help. Plans are zero. Now, other than those few people who had United Healthcare Advantage plan, it's too late to sign up until sign-up period. I wish the Congress would pass it that you could sign up any time during the year. I mean, that would help a lot of people. It'd make it less confusing. I think Congress should pass a bill like that. We've talked to our Congressman Chuck Fleshman. He said he was going to introduce it, never did. And, you know, but he's got to run this time, so I guess he went back. So who knows?
Well, I'm telling you, folks.
We've got a lot of pharmacists and a lot of people calling him, and hey, I think you ought to be able to change your insurance anytime you want to.
Oh, I agree with you.
Our congressmen, our senators can, so why can't we?
I just don't understand sometimes what they just do. They just don't.
They just seem like they get dumber when they start meeting together. You know what I mean? And it's just like city council. I had a workshop tonight, and it just seems like we're not too dumb. I am, but rest of them not. But when we meet together, sometimes our IQ goes down a little bit. I guess so. But
well, a lot of times if you don't have a good facilitator in your meetings, somebody that's got a bone to pick or something that they just absolutely want it to go their way, you get lost in the shuffle a lot of times.
You do. I was just talking to Honeybee back there, and she couldn't get anything that any doctors would take, but she tried to do it herself. People, you need to get some experts on this, okay? And you can find something very, very, very suitable for you, very affordable for you, and have insurance. I mean, and lots of times the prescription drug, I had a young lady today talking to me, her prescription drugs would have been less than the premium per month. I mean, you know, so then she'd only have to pay $3 to $12 for her prescriptions. Right. So it took a while. Yeah. And it takes a while.
I understand.
And it seems so impossible. That can't be right, but it is possible. I mean, as of right now, it's possible unless Mr. Trump or Mr. Cruz or one of the other Republicans go in. I think it's going to be Mr. Trump, but and he's going to put something better. He said he's going to put something even better in. Okay, so I don't know. I'm looking for something better. Okay, so
well, I know we'll go to another thing, but I want to ask you a question, and I'm not. You know, I don't see how this small public or community pharmacists sometimes really make it, because they've taken. I don't know how the congressmen do this. They've taken these, like the Walmarts and they're putting pharmacies everywhere, and Walgreens and CVS and whatever, and they sell their prescriptions for $4. You guys can't make it on that.
Well, you'd be surprised how much we beat them in price. Okay, so that's number one. But. We don't buy at the same rate, and that's because of volume. But we buy from a wholesaler that does as much volume as Walmart, okay? So theoretically, we're going through a middleman, so they're going to make some money off of us. So we can buy pretty cheap. But with the problem that generic drugs is having right now, we've been bringing it up, I've been bringing it up almost 18 months. The President of the United States froze prices March 2014 on all generics, froze prices. And of course, he can only keep it in for 60 days. And the Senate has to ratify it, and the House has to ratify it. Well, we're seeing prices going up 5,000 to 10,000% on generic drugs. It's almost impossible to keep up with. I mean, you have to check your invoices each and every day to see what has gone up. You have to hunt from different companies to see. One company can have it, this is honest truth, one company can have it for $2 to $3, and another company that you might be buying for it might not be their source product, their main company, and it may be $40. And it's very difficult for us to get a hold of this. So, but it's an unfair advantage like that. So we called our congressman. The Senate approved it to freeze it until they had hearings. But the House, because President Obama did it, threw it to the side.
They wouldn't.
It didn't do a thing. So now the prices are going up. And guess what now? Now, all of a sudden, we're having a presidential election. Not only the Democrats, but the Republican people who are running for president want to know what these drug companies are doing. So now they're planning Senate hearing committees on these drug companies. And I would say that there was to be some drug companies that's going to have a lot of answering to do.
Well, just like this one guy that come in as the new chief operating officer and raised that one drug that some people
$7.50 to $1,300.
Right. Well, they're prosecuting him now. Did you know that?
Well, I mean, you ought to see some of the stuff. We're talking about simple drugs like your thyroid medication. It used to be on our $4 list. And we have lists just like everyone else. Now, I was looking today, a lady and I was looking today, and it was costing me over $19. Now, we're selling it at $4 and making a profit 18 months ago. Now it's costing me over $19. That's just a month's worth of pills. And the only people we've got to protect us is our Congress and our Senate. They've got to put these people. I can understand a drug that maybe is rare and it's in the Middle East and you've got all these warlike things. I can understand some drugs that that the soldiers must take first to stay healthy while they're in the Middle East and stuff like that. But some of the stuff that we're talking about, thyroid medication, blood pressure, Vaseltec, generic Vaseltec, Inopril, has gone from $1.99 to $155 for a bottle of 100. I mean, this is ridiculous. Then the insurance is in on it too, the PBMs.
Oh,
because they've got 30 days to raise their price. So we're eating the loss for 30 days, and then they'll come back. So what do you do? I mean, as a pharmacist now. Well, you're talking about the Walmarts, the Walgreens, the CVS, the Food Cities, compared to Riggs drugstores and Terry's Pharmacy. I would say that I know for a fact that the drugstore that fills the most prescriptions in town is mine, right down here on the corner. I mean, right here at Riggs downtown. This is by far. In some cases, you can put two stores together, and I'll fill as many as two of them put together. And I know that Terry's Pharmacy probably fills the second most. So it's not always. Number one, you'd be surprised at the price. You'd be surprised how many pharmacists will X charged me $59 and it's only $33 here, okay? And it's happening, and Arissa's seeing this too at Terry's. We give better service. You don't have to wait all day or 2 or 3 days.
You got that personal touch.
And we know our customers, and but you know, it's not all about that either, but it's, you'll be surprised. People come in all the time and says, well, you've got Motrin, generic Motrin, leader brand and everything. It's only $3.88. Down at Walmart, it was $5.10. People be surprised. You just have the image. They have the image of being cheaper than everybody else, but they're not.
No, they're not.
But we do pretty well. I don't know too many retail pharmacies that's left here. And in Anderson County or in Clinton and Knoxville, we had one on Emory Road that's not doing better than the chain sitting right next to them, okay? So, but it'd be a lot easier if everybody paid the same. And if you had an insurance, we're talking about United Healthcare. United Healthcare, with federal dollars, this is paid for by federal dollars.
Right.
You could go to Walmart or CVS and only pay $2. You come to my drugstore, you have to pay $4. Now that's not fair. Stuff like that's not fair.
That's what I'm talking.
If you go to, since you're using federal dollars, I pay federal dollars in too. So everything should be the same. If you mail order, a lot of people have to mail order, and they don't get their medicine timely. And when they do get it, lots of times the doctor has discontinued them off that medication or that particular dose. Most of the time it's that particular dose. So they got piles and they just keep sending it. So wouldn't it be nice if the mail order, if you get it from the mail order, a 90-day supply for $5, you go to your local pharmacist, whether it's Walgreens, Walmart, CVS, Terry's, or Riggs, and get the same thing. Wouldn't that be a lot easier? I proposed to our congressman just recently that it would be a whole lot better for the VA to be given a card, let them use their local physician, local hospital, and local pharmacy, and eventually phase out the VA hospitals. Now, it would cost more money in the front end, but at the back end, what we could use the VA hospitals for is nursing homes for the VA and also homeless shelters for the VA. And if you put all this into a package, which would take many years, several years, 10, 12 years to do, the veterans would be a lot better off because they'd be dealing with local folk, wouldn't have to go to Johnson City, to Lexington, to go to a hospital. They could go to a local hospital or to Knoxville or somewhere where your family members would be there present. And a lot of times when you're ill, your mental aspect of being ill is just is more important than being ill.
Well, I wanted to ask you another question. On something that you was talking about there about the VA, and I have Bredesen in mind too, because here he was the governor, and he stopped people and he had to order from him, and he ended up, instead of just being $1 billionaire, he ended up $3 billionaire.
His family did, yes.
Yeah, and
he owned the PBM that did the safety net for the state of Tennessee. Yes.
And here's honest truth. Now Wednesday I will be operated on for my eyes. I could have went to Johnson City, but now I'm lucky. I got a red, white, and blue card, or whatever.
You got Medicare, but you got United Health is what's going to pay. But I know what you have. You have the Advantage Plan, United Healthcare, right, and you'll have to pay $300 a day while you're in the hospital.
No, I just pay one time.
One time.
Yeah, I paid $340. That's what I've had to pay.
Okay. So it's not bad.
No.
It's better. It's better than going to the VA.
It's better than me going. I mean, if I went to Johnson City to get it done, I'd have to go up there and have to stay a couple of days.
Right.
Well, they pay for that, but who wants to go to Johnson City and live up there in a motel room getting operated on?
Especially the weather we've been having.
And so anyway, they have changed these things. If you live more than 45 minutes from wherever you're going,
you can go, and
the VA will pay for it. But
so they're moving in the direction I just said. If you had an emergency, if you had a heart attack,
right,
you could be taken to one of the local hospitals, and the VA pay 100%. So they're moving to the direction I said. If one of the candidates, be Republican, Democrat, or Independent, would come out with this idea, I really believe that the active military would love it, okay? Because, they have them in regions,
right,
where they're stationed, and it sometimes takes 2 to 3 weeks if they're stationed in Georgia and move them up to Kentucky. It's a different zone, and it might take them 3 or 4 weeks. What are you going to do for prescription drugs while you're doing that?
Right.
So it is amazing how we can waste money.
Well, I went to the VA and I seen, and we sat down and talked, and I asked him the questions because I learned from you guys being on this show with me, saying you've got to ask questions about this and about that, and you will save yourself some money. So I started asking him questions. He said, well, now that you where you live, you can make some decisions on your own here. And I said, well, thanks. I'm going to go over here and see if I can find me somebody this for me.
Well, I mean, we have many VA people who are on zero premium insurance through the Medicare Advantage plans, so they have choices. And believe it or not, they're starting to use it a little bit more than the VA. And I'm not saying that the VA has poor, health care.
Right.
I'm not saying they have poor doctors or anything. It's just the inconvenience of going.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Here, I'm going to ask you one more real question.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about the City Hall when we come back after break. But right now, this question on insurance. Someone that had United Health and they dropped it here in Campbell County. Is there another plan that they can get on real quick? Because they don't have.
If they were dropped from the plane.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you've got in this the other three Advantage plans in this county is Blue Cross at zero premium, Cigna zero premium, it's called Cigna Health Springs, and Humana, and it goes from $39 to $107 premium per month.
So they can get this by the 31st.
Yes, and
Okay,
never. And
the
never,
person that asked me about that today, please get down to Riggs tomorrow and get that thing done.
And the first thing you never do, you never change your doctor. You have a good doctor, you're happy with your doctor, make sure your doctor takes the insurance that you're about to take. Be sure to do that. I mean, you never ever want to change a good doctor. And we're lucky in this area that we have, fortunately, we have some very good doctors, and you don't want to change your doctors.
Okay, now we're going to be back after these words from our sponsors, talk about political stuff and things that's happening in the city, and we'll take your phone calls. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Hey, this is Mark with Insurance Consultants. You're used to seeing Blake McCoy sitting here, and I'm up here cutting a new commercial for y'all to look at. I help people with have Medicare and TennCare, and if you've got any questions about what you're eligible for, whether you should be getting extra benefits, is your plan changing, or do you even need anything to go with your Medicare? Those are the types of questions I can help you with. Please give me a call at 1-866-691-5571. I'll be glad to give you a call, and as always, we charge nothing for our services. If we can help you in any way, we'll be glad to do it. Y'all have a good day.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family-owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Pierce. I may not be Jake from State Farm, but I do wear khakis. I've been here with Linda Kilgore's office for 2 years. I enjoy helping people make a decision regarding their insurance based on their needs and wants. I'm fully licensed. I enjoy selling auto, home, and life insurance. So feel free to come in or call in any time, and I'll be glad to help you.
Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT. The Mule Pro FXT is engineered to smooth out the most rugged terrain. Over 8.5 inches of suspension travel make uneven surfaces feel a lot less jarring, while a tight 16-foot turning radius combined with electric power steering means easy and effortless cornering on a dime. Engine braking is tuned for a controlled feel when heading downhill, and high output LED headlights light up the way. Round out this exceptional package with the maximum stopping power of front and rear disc brakes, and there's almost nothing the Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT.
Why do my customers choose Husqvarna Power Equipment? That's easy, because my landscaping crew has to rely on a durable product
I need the performance and quality that Husqvarna provides.
And the innovative products that help me move on with my day. For maintenance parts or accessories, I don't have to go far. I know my Husqvarna dealer is right around the corner.
Make the impossible possible and visit a Husqvarna dealer near you.
Visit your local Husqvarna dealer or go to husqvarna.com for more information.
Okay, we're back, folks, and like I say, we're going to talk about a little bit of politics and some of the stuff that he needs to give us that's going on down at the City Hall. True Value Homes bringing you tonight's show. Keith Klopfelder is the person over there running that place. Folks, they got some nice homes, nice. Also, Ron's Golf Cart and La Follette Indoor Flea Market. And they're located behind Long John Silver's in the old Big Lot building. And folks, I'm telling you, he has a lot of stuff to look at and browse. I was down there today, and there's just 6 or 8 people in there the whole time running around, and he's got things to look at. And now is a great time to buy golf carts. You know, he does a good job.
He does.
He does a great job with those golf carts. So anyway, Bob, I'm going to ask you right off the bat.
Yes.
We know that there's been, this person's been trying to call for.
Okay.
Let me get them. You're on the air.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm doing good.
I just wanted to let you know, just hang in there, don't pay attention to nobody, and we listen to you every Monday night, buddy. You hang in there.
I'll be here.
All right, see you, buddy.
Thank you very much.
All right, bye.
But anyway, I was going to ask you a question. You know, we know that Mr. Hatmaker was in the news.
Yes.
And I'm going to have to turn this over to you. I've got to leave for a few minutes.
Okay. Well, so you want me to ask about Mr. Hatmaker?
Yeah, and what's going on there? Could you tell the folks?
Okay.
I have got to leave a minute.
I don't know if that surgery helped you or not, RL. So we had a workshop today, and all members were present, and including Mr. Hatmaker. He had quite a bit of things to say, and is no change. Can't be any change on people's asking about the council. There's no change. A man in the United States of America is innocent till proven guilty. Our charter says he is elected by the majority of the people, and he will stay elected. So that's about all I have to say on that subject. I would like to thank all our employees at the city during this snowstorm, and it's still not. It's still falling, so we're still got problems on the back roads, but they've done an outstanding job. The street department worked 32 hours the first 2 days. The police department's been on overtime. The fire department this month only has already done 111 first responders. We started a first responder class where it's not a fire, but we can go if somebody falls down, maybe having a heart attack, stuff like this, and the fire department can respond. And our young men have taken extra training for this, and they're doing a fabulous job on this. So if you see any of those people, the police or the fire department, the street department, you need to say thank you, because we've done it. Even though it's not perfect, and some of our roads are on the back streets are still pretty bad. My parking lot at the drugstore was awful until yesterday afternoon. So you need to thank them. Mayor Stanfield was right out there with them. Being a former employee of the city and over the street department, he was right there because he helping them out. So if anytime you get a mayor that's involved, it's nice to have an extra person. I don't think we had very many outages for power. We had some, but the crews at the electric department worked double shift and triple shifts on some cases, but not many people was without power for a long period of time during this snowstorm, and it was as good a snowstorm as I've seen in a long time. In my backyard, we had 13 inches that built up. That's pretty good little snow. Some areas a little bit. They said in Tazewell is a little bit deeper as you go up that way. I went to Knoxville on Saturday afternoon and past Lake City. Going into Knoxville, nothing, almost nothing. It was a little icy in some areas, but just a dusting of snow. So it's amazing how sometimes this valley can keep the bad weather out, but this time it kept the bad weather in, and we got hit pretty hard. But with all that, there's very few accidents. There was very few power outages. There was most of the businesses open for partial days on most of that day. So the grocery stores, the drugstores was open, the necessities you could get to. So I think in all we did a pretty good job. The rescue squad, got to mention them. They came and helped people pick up their medicines where they couldn't get out. I know they did at our store. They did they had the four-wheelers to go every which way. So you got to give a thanks to the rescue squad also, because if they do it at Riggs, they did it at every drugstore. All you do is call and ask. So they did very well. So
I apologize.
That's okay. I just rambled on. I don't know what I said.
Well,
okay.
We got a call here. You'll take it?
Yeah, please take it.
You're on the air.
Hey, Bob, I got a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Could you tell me why we had a Kent Yance Day?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you much.
Hey,
you're a great man, Bob. Keep it up.
Hey, I know we had a Marvin Minton Day because it's the 29th. He's been working for First National Bank, now Community Trust, for 42 years, and he's been at the same bank for 42 years. So they have a proclamation on the 29th making that his day. On Kent Yance, his business had been open for 30 years, I think. As a long period, maybe 40. And Kent's been a part of this community assisting us and everything. So it didn't have a day, it just had a proclamation and making it him that day in the fall. It named it after him. So it was because of the extension of how long he had been here working in this community. Okay, and that was the answer.
Okay. Hey, RL, I know what your situation is health-wise. Man, I'm behind you 100%. You take care of yourself, good man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
So I was telling them what we did at the meeting, and so I told them Mr. Hatmaker was there and participated in their discussions on all subjects, and he has to go through
well, he has to go through the due process,
and when it's over, it'll be over. And
the reason why I asked that question, though, did you watch the show last week?
I didn't. I'm sorry.
Well, okay. There was a person that called in, and everybody knew who he was, but he just decided to not give his name on it. But everybody, and he says that and I know he's due process, but he says that the mayor and the city administrator was behind and framed Mr. Hatmaker.
You know, now I don't know.
But how could they work together?
It was my understanding. We'll see what happens when it all turns out. But it was my understanding this was a drug test bust or something. As all had to do with the drug test. I'm not even sure if the city police force was involved until the very last day where they picked rounded people up. So I don't even know if that was involved in any of the investigation. we just have to see where it falls.
Right.
And I've never seen Mr. Hatmaker. He's been on the council since 1994, and he may do it, and I've never seen him, but I've never seen him drink. I've never seen him smoke. I've never seen him do anything. So it was hard for me to believe. So I like to see how this turns out.
And that was the only thing I just wanted to know. How if there could be any working together or anything with the.
I mean, anything is possible. I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't think so. This has been going on, they said, I mean, what I read in the paper for several years, and this is, so it's hard. When it all turns out in the wash, it'll show up if there is something there. So.
Well, has there been any lawsuits filed so far? Because this guy said that we will own the town of La Follette before this is over. And it's all on tape, folks. I'm not just.
Well, I don't know how they can sue the city of La Follette for this, okay?
They said it's
we
mayor
didn't,
and.
we didn't, well, I mean, they might, if the mayor and the city administrator, which I don't think, okay?
Yeah.
But of course, I don't know everything, but, was involved, they could probably sue the people privately, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think the city would be touched.
I don't.
But again, I don't know. I mean, it was hard for me when I heard it. It was hard for me to believe, even though there had been rumors back 3 to 4 months ago.
Right.
So, and so it was still hard for me to believe.
Oh, okay.
And it was hard for me to believe about we lost a good Democrat yesterday in Mr. Slusher. My prayers and my well wishes goes out to his family. I'll be praying for him, and that's about all I have to say on that particular thing. He was a dedicated person for this county. He worked hard to bring certain facts to the county and present his case, and he was very good at it. And he's what I knew of him when I met him, he was always willing to give you time and give you any information you needed and talk to you. And it's a sad situation.
Yeah. I don't think any of us can understand. No matter what we say or what we do,
nothing can help.
Nothing can change it.
No, and so we will go from there. So, but he will be missed.
Is there anything else going on because you have to run this time?
This time in November, the mayor's seat's up. Mr. Hatmaker's seat's up and my seat's up.
Okay.
So we don't have to make a decision if we're going to run or not until after the August election. So our petitions has to be in before after that. So we've got some time. We've got
to make up your mind
what you're going to do.
So about 7 months left.
Yeah. So but right now we've hired a new city administrator. We've hired a new treasurer. We've hired a new police chief.
I heard this police chief was working out awful well.
Administrator, the treasurer, and the police chief is working very, very well. And I don't get involved in the day-to-day stuff. We have a new fire chief who took over for Mr. Byrd when he retired. He's doing a terrific job with training the young men that's down there. Especially, I was telling them about first responders. We had 111 first responding. It's just not about fire department. It's just not about fire anymore.
Right.
If somebody is having a heart attack or something, we can go and assist in doing some things until the paramedics get there. So we have a wreck. The wreck was the big thing. We've got equipment now to get them out of the car. We can do that. Before we couldn't do anything without being liable if we are injured. And so now we can do that, and it's working great. I mean, the fire department is. I mean, I think the young men who are doing this are very proud of themselves, and they ought to be. That's the reason they got a pretty good little raise last year, and one of the bigger ones. I had in the store. I had a lady that was deaf, and she was having a seizure, couldn't communicate. Someone was with her, a gentleman was with her, but he couldn't even hardly communicate. So we called 911, of course, and the first responders got there first. And this guy one of our first responders knew the sign language, calmed the lady down. It was amazing. The ambulance got there just minutes after, and what this young man did was just amazing. And the 3 first responders from the fire department, I watched them, and they were very, very, very good. I was amazed, and I'm so happy that we voted that program in. And but it's amazing what you can do if you just put your mind to it and everything, and we can turn in. Our city is not getting much bad press now. You got a city councilman, you got headlines from Knoxville and all that stuff. But again, I've never seen Mr. Hatmaker do anything like that. But again, due process will bring that up.
Well, there's no way for you to know, or surely there wouldn't be anyway. But now I got to ask you.
But the other things were the 2 people. I've not. I would have picked up on that, I think, but I've not heard anything.
Okay, here's an. I know that there was this thing going around about who could run and who couldn't run and this and that.
Yeah, I was asked today if it was just for me that I was trying to run for another office. Understand about this. I can run for any office I want to and be a city councilman of the city of Follett. It wasn't that. I can run for president, governor, state senate, United States Senate, Congress, state representative, or county commissioner, or state senator. And I don't have to give up my job down here, okay? But if a county commissioner or a state representative wanted to stop doing that and run for here, he'd have to resign before he could qualify for election in the city of Follett. And to me, it's not like it just came up. I mean, I understand. I saw the little article that Miss Aunt Annie wrote, and it wasn't for me. It's not going to affect. Aunt Hester. Yeah, it wasn't for me. It was a person that was on the commission that wanted to run for city council instead, and he didn't want to give his seat up until he won there. Even if he won here, there is certain jobs you can have dual jobs. He could be a county commissioner and a city councilman at the same time. So that's what it was all about. And we had been talking about this. We've been talking about 2 things to change the charter. We've been talking about the charter all the time. So the 2 things that I had put out there, it was do away with that stupidity thing because it's unconstitutional anyway. We got governors running for president. We have senators running for president. We have one governor who's running for governor and president. He's running for his, McCain when he ran for president, he ran for Senate in Arizona at the same time. So I think I told him I thought it was unconstitutional. It's a simple little rewriting of the words. Mr. Trapman said would take care of all these problems, okay? And then I wanted to be able to give up to a 2-year contract, not only to our city administrator, but also to our department heads. And that takes the politics out of it because they can do their job without fearing being fired, because there is no politics in it. They have a 2-year contract. We have to pay them whether they're working or not working, okay? So I like that. They didn't, so he just went away. But it had nothing to do with me. I had the Follett Press asked me tonight if I was running for another position, and I have given it thought, another position, but he wouldn't hurt me, I'd still be a city councilman, okay? And, but I have given it some thought because of what we've been talking about, healthcare, and how many people don't have the right information, how many people we can't sign them up anytime we want to, how many people in the state of Tennessee, if they would accept this Insure Tennessee, would be covered at much lower cost. And we're not talking about deadbeats in this. We're talking about people that work at A&S Steel, lost their job for a temporary thing. We're talking about people you go to church with that had a heart attack, worked all their lives, and because they can't work, they lose their job and their health insurance, and they can't afford to pay COBRA, for their thing. We're talking about people like this. And this is what this Obamacare Medicaid or the exchange Medicaid was meant for. The governor in Ohio said that he put 509,000 additional people on at no extra charge. Not even no extra charge. It helped balance the budget. He was in a $3 billion deficit when he got there. Now he's in a $1.2 billion surplus, and mainly because of this Obamacare Medicaid.
John Kasich,
he said that in one of his things. And what's happening is the hospitals are getting paid. So they had something like $800 million that people owe the hospital. It's got down to about $225 million. Well, all that does, it tells me, is people in the health profession is going back to work. People in the hospitals getting more jobs. Pharmacies are filling more drugs. Doctors are seeing more patients. People have been taken care of. Their health is improving. Their lifestyle is improving. So I beg you all to call your state representative and your state senator and encourage them, demand that they pass Insure Tennessee on this docket. It's up right now. They just went back. I would ask you all, if you don't have insurance, you don't qualify for Obamacare, and you need this and everything, call your state representative and your state senator, even though they're not on that committee. They know people on the committee. Use their influence.
Absolutely.
And then when it comes to a vote for Insure Tennessee. 178,000 people in the state of Tennessee can be helped. And, I see it every day where people have to decide which medicine they're going to take. And it's you can't do that if they're going to be taking their insulin today.
I understand. I definitely.
And you work with the drug companies that have coupons and this and that and everything, and they give $200 million last year. Well, that's pretty good, but they make $200 million in one day profit. So they're not giving enough coupons out,
Yeah.
So, but I encourage our people, whether you're Republican or Democrat, people who are in this position. And if you came and sat with me for 1 or 2 days, you would see people that doesn't have insurance, and it's a shame.
Oh, now another thing that bothers me, it's Democrat and Republican. Whenever the representatives go out here and they draw these lines and they make these, districts, they'll look and see, and they'll take a picture, in this picture, if I draw it from this county to this county, and I run it all the way over to Sparta or someplace, I can get all these Republican counties. Then they'll say, well, we can get these Democrat counties, and everybody, we're good buddies, and we're going to be there for the rest of our life, because Desjardins has proved that.
Yeah, Desjardins is one of the sorriest human beings I've ever met. So, but with that said, I'm going to leave it. He was our congressman too. You couldn't get a hold of Desjardins. At least Chuck Fleischman you can get a hold of. John Duncan, who's in Jellicoe, you can get a hold of. So, but you can get a hold of their people. And so at least that. But Desjardins was a thing. But, in all fairness, when the Democrats had control of Tennessee, they did it for them. Okay,
Oh.
they drew up these districts
I'm
where
saying it's
a
about-
Democrat, unless you're just no good, a Democrat's going to win this district. That's it. So, hey, when the Republicans have got all the power in the governorship and the House and the Senate, I don't blame them. Do you? So but it's drawn up. It should be.
I'm saying both of them.
It should be drawn up in so many counties, and we shouldn't have to go. Our congressman is out of Chattanooga. Now it seems like to me it would be going so much here.
Yeah, it don't make sense.
And you got 9. You had to make 9 districts. It's going straight down from the top to the bottom. It'd be easier.
But what they say, they have to get equal voters registrations.
I agree. I mean, I can understand that.
So,
but you can't tell me that Chattanooga and Davidson County, Nashville and Knoxville and Memphis, they need a congressman just for themselves, those 4 towns.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Chattanooga people that lives in Chattanooga doesn't need to be coming all the way up to Campbell County, all the way up to Claiborne County.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't make any sense. And I thought that's why we fought the American Revolution, fair representation for fair taxes and all this stuff. But a person from Campbell County probably will never have a chance to be a congressman.
Never.
Because you have to win in Chattanooga. And Chattanooga's from here is 126 miles away.
Well, just think, a state rep, Les Winningham, he wasn't a better state rep in first. He actually was the second or third in line out down there and to get things done, and they voted him out.
Lincoln Davis, same thing.
Yeah.
He was a good man. I mean, a good man. You can look back at, I'm looking at Democrats right now, but you can go into the Republican section too. I mean, Quillen retired, but he was going to get beat. And that's the reason he retired, and he could keep his fund. Whatever he raised for fundraising back then, you can't now, but you get to keep
John
it.
Duncan Senior, John, what was it, $2 to $3 million he had in
his fund for re-election. He got to keep it. Yes,
he got to keep every dime of it.
Yeah, man, and we're lucky to have a John Duncan in this area. I mean, even though he doesn't touch La Follette, he does touch Jellicoe. I mean, John has done quite a bit of help even for Campbell County. Okay,
you're on the air.
When I first turned your program on, I thought that was my granny on there with that hat on.
Well, should I take it off?
I thought it's some granny woman. I swear I did.
Well, it's me.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, Bob, you want to stay around, or
I don't care, whatever you want to do.
Go ahead, Honeybee, and take a break, and Bob and I will be back.
Are you missing out on extra Medicare benefits that you may be entitled to? Hi, my name is Blake McCoy with Independent Insurance Consultants. If you have Medicare A and B and have Medicaid, TennCare, Q&B, or receive extra help on your prescription, drug premium, and copays, I want to make sure that you are receiving all the extra benefits that you are entitled to. Call me toll-free today, 1-866-691-5571, and let me help you.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment with that country kick. It's a family-owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Hi, I'm Ann Love with Linda Kilgore State Farm Agency. I have worked in the insurance and financial services industry for over 20 years, formerly with the John R.W. Brown Agency. I'm a native Campbell County and enjoy helping people with their insurance needs. Stop by and see me for all your insurance needs.
The Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT. The Mule Pro FXT is engineered to smooth out the most rugged terrain. Over 8.5 inches of suspension travel make uneven surfaces feel a lot less jarring, while a tight 16-foot turning radius combined with electric power steering means easy and effortless cornering on a dime. Engine braking is tuned for a controlled feel when heading downhill, and high output LED headlights light up the way. Round out this exceptional package with the maximum stopping power of front and rear disc brakes, and there's almost nothing the Mule Pro FXT can't handle. The 2015 Mule Pro FXT.
Why do my customers choose Husqvarna Power Equipment? That's easy, because my landscaping crew has to rely on a durable product.
I need the performance and quality that Husqvarna provides.
And the innovative products that help me move on with my day.
For maintenance parts or accessories, I don't have to go far. I know my Husqvarna dealer is right around the corner. Make the impossible possible and visit a Husqvarna dealer near you.
Visit your local Husqvarna dealer or go to Husqvarna.com for more information.
Okay, we're back with True Value Homes sponsoring us, and Ron's Golf Carts, and La Follette Indoor Flea Market. Folks, anytime you go in and get a chance to go over, I greatly appreciate it. And also Razax is back sponsoring with us, and folks, you know how to find have you ever been over at Razax yet?
Not yet, no.
You gotta go.
I'll go.
I'm telling you, it's one of them hole in the wall, really. It's you go, if you go by there, and
I don't know if you know Bill Dunlap, he's a pharmacist up there, and he said, I've got to go. We got to go up there and eat.
but they have the best steaks.
That's what.
And they have they have salmon and stuff like that. And on Friday nights, best fish, and you can't get in hardly. And that restaurant, I'll guarantee you, just in the restaurant part, you could set this whole house in it.
Well, Cracker Barrel has fish on Friday.
Oh, do it?
Yeah.
Well, evidently, it must be better than Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, it must be.
Okay. Anyway, we'll take your phone calls, any question you want to ask or whatever. But there's another couple of things because Bob kind of got into this running and whatever. And I wanted to kind of,
I first got elected in 1996 as city councilman, and I tried to get out of it to somewhere 8 or somewhere, and I was out for 2 years, and nobody was going to run, so I ran back. So that's where we're at. But as a whole, the council get along pretty well. We don't always agree. That's the reason we have not arguments, we have discussions. Okay, and financially, are we better off than we were 10 years ago? Yeah. 5 years ago, not so. Not as bad, but we've done a lot. You go through the city and see how much we've done. I mean, we've done quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And from parks or recreation to streets to improving our police department and improving our fire department tremendously. Library, we've done a great deal. We made a great deal of progress. That's starting to show. And Mike, Mayor Stanfield, and Vice Mayor Joe Bollinger, and Ann Thompson and Hansford Hatmaker are to be commended. I told them tonight I probably was the worst city councilman we had because they're all more involved in the day-to-day operation than I am, because I think the day-to-day should be left up to the department heads and the city administrator, and let me set the policies. We'll go from there.
That's one of the things that I have the biggest problem with the superintendent of schools.
Well, I mean, it's going to take a state vote to get that back, okay?
Yeah,
so
I hope it does happen to you.
There's some benefits to hiring your the school board, hiring your superintendent, but I think it was set up in the state of Tennessee, in most states, that if it was, you don't have as much power over a superintendent when they're elected.
Well,
so you don't have a group of 10 people telling one person what to do who does the hiring and firing. So I think that ought to be left up. I would like to be elected again. Okay. Well, even though we do have, we've been very lucky with Mr. Poston and now Mr. Nideford to have them on board. They're good people and they're doing a great job as school superintendent.
I think it's more political right now the way it's set up than it is whenever you elect them.
It probably is.
But I think that whenever there has to be certain qualifications before you can get that application to run, just like you do in the sheriff's department and in the road superintendent.
Well, I didn't like this time when they brought up that only people from Campbell County could apply. I didn't like that. But we ended up with Mr. Nideford, who's been here a long time. He's very, very capable of doing the job, and he has the credentials to back it up. And he's not a yes sir or no sir. He's a person that can do the job, you know. So, and we have some young people, young teachers and administrators in this county that is going to be taking the county over, after we're gone, and there's some terrific people that could be school superintendents, mayors of all the cities in here, city commissioners and county commissioners. The young people need to take a real good look. Educated young people who's worked for a living, knows how much bread and milk is, how much it costs to feed you. Down to earth people needs to take interest in politics. I think the funniest thing, sad but funny, would be Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton in the election. I have no idea even how Tennessee would go on this one. You would think, used to Tennessee, I still say more registered voters are Democrats in the state of Tennessee than Republicans, but they've gone over because no Democrat has won, as no Southern Democrat, a conservative Democrat, has ran. And Trump and Hillary, they're not that far apart.
No.
I mean, they're neighbors. They're her daughter and his daughter are best of friends. It's going to be, yes, they're the best of friends. And so, and they're living within 6-7 miles of each other, when they're in New York, when they are in New York. It's going to be I'd say the Tonight Show and, all those nighttime comedy shows and Saturday Night Lives, it's going to have a field day with this one.
Oh, I don't doubt that a bit. But now, I'm a political junkie, but I've gotten to where I don't even listen to any of these polls anymore. So they're so stupid. One day this one's ahead by 21 points, and the next day the other one's within 2 points.
Well, I never thought Miss Clinton, Secretary Clinton, would never win Iowa or New Hampshire.
But she never had.
Bill did. And and I don't care what anybody says, Bill probably was the best president in our lifetime. Okay,
I know it.
So I think she's going to get beat. But then from that point on, there's not a state she's not ahead in. And the same way with Trump. Iowa, he may lose to Senator Cruz.
Oh, they said today he was ahead 21 points.
He could be. I mean, you know, he reminds me of somebody, but every time, like this conservative paper went after him. He said, well, the conservative paper was going broke. I mean, it's $1 billion paper. It's going to be broke anyway. You know, he's going to go broke anyway. He wasn't any good. And he picks up 10 points.
Yeah. You're on the air.
I think old Bob ought to run for mayor.
No, I think Mayor Stanfield, I'll just leave him right there, okay? I wouldn't challenge. Number one, I couldn't beat Mike. I'll be honest. I couldn't beat. Mike's done a pretty good job. When you do a pretty good job, you stay in that position. Number two, Mike is dedicated to that job, and again, all I would do is set policies and let the department heads and the city administrator run it. So I know I'm not after that job. No, if I ran again, it'd be for city council. If I ran again,
Appreciate your call.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. You're on the air.
Bob Fannin, you take that remark back. You nearly made me knock over my Ronald Reagan picture on my nightstand.
Oh yeah, well I forgot about Ronald Reagan, but you know
Hey, all jokes aside.
Hey, but you know what you're reading now about Ronald Reagan, the last 2 years in office, Ronald Reagan wasn't in his right mind. I mean, that's what the books say.
Well, I know it.
Even though, hey, he'll go down as one of the most beloved presidents we ever had. Now, listen, I voted for Reagan once.
I tell you what, this is the
Once.
From Reagan to all Reagan's years, through all Bill Clinton's years, was the greatest years I believe this country has seen in my lifetime.
It has, but it may not have been the president. It may have been part of the presidents with the right people. But back then, Bill Clinton could go across the aisle to Republicans and get things done.
Right.
And Reagan could go across the aisle with Democrats and get things done.
And then
until
nowadays it's such a bicker and these.
I have seen a comment from our congressman said, "I'm not going to do anything he wants. I'm going to wait till he's gone." Now, meanwhile, we're suffering. Okay,
right.
So we've got to get off our high horse just because he's a Democrat or Republican and vote for someone who will cross party lines and vote for the right thing. To help, and I hate when they put a good bill out there that could pass and attach all this crap to it that you can't vote for.
Right.
I mean, you don't have just one single bill in Congress. You have a bill, and then you attach. Well, you got a spending bill down here, and cutting taxes over here, and before you can get a good bill passed.
Well, it's kind of like
Me and your brother had a good conversation about this back a couple months ago, and I mean we really did, and I enjoy him, and I enjoy you, and I enjoy your business down there. You run a good business, but man, if I would have broke this picture right here,
I forgot about Reagan. I'm much younger than you and Bill.
Greens or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hey, I'm so much younger than you and Bill, so that's the reason.
Oh, you
Do you know that the Iran-Contra was one of the biggest
RL, don't even get started now because I'll drag out a laundry list of other things and you'll be pouting all the way from here to Oneida
Do you know that I've seen him, and this was a conversation that he had with one of those people, wasn't on national TV, and he actually said, he said, I wished it wasn't so, but it does look like it's so, that we did give those weapons and trade weapons for
kind of like we traded them prisoners here back a year or so ago.
To be a good president and to be a good congressman and be a good senator.
Had a McGovern sticker here on
Yeah,
the
McGovern.
Hey, I've seen the picture of you back then.
But, you know, to be a good president, congressman, or senator, you have to finagle a little bit. And finagle and compromise and all this stuff.
There's a lot more behind the scenes.
There is a lot more behind the things that we think of. And if we knew about it, we couldn't sleep at night.
That's the truth.
Well, and it goes through every branch. I mean, it's
Yes, it does.
local to state to.
I mean, look at the Supreme Court. When you're appointed for life.
Exactly.
And it always, he's a good Republican, isn't he? Yeah. So it always tickles me when a Republican, now of the 9 justices, 7 was appointed by Republican presidents, 2 by Democrat presidents, okay? 7 to 2. Is there 9 or 7? 9. Okay, 7 to 2. But when they had this, when they had this gay marriage thing, and they brought up and it was 5 to 4 vote, the Republicans put the majority in there. So, it shouldn't happen. But that would never even went to the Supreme Court if 3 states, and Tennessee being one of them, had not put it on a ballot, and it was unconstitutional to put it on a ballot to see if you favor or don't favor, okay? It's because it's either law or not law. But 3 states putting that on the ballot, and Tennessee being one of them, Proposition 1 or 2, you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And when we voted for that, or against that, here comes the Supreme Court. But, I never saw, and the Republicans got all upset, but I never saw.
Not all of them.
Well, I never saw one Republican when Gore and Bush went to the without the Supreme Court even being asked, stop the counting in Florida. I didn't hear a Republican say one thing because, again, it was 5 to 4. And they elected the President of the United States. It could very easily have been Al Gore. And where would the world been today? Worse off? Better off? Who knows?
You would have heard a Republican up the valley up here going strong and hard about it. I tell you that.
But
I promise you that.
And talking to my brother, did my brother ever tell you that he knew Mr. Gore personally?
He has.
And he's very proud of that. He told me he was a delegate in San Diego in 2000 when Gore was nominated. And being Tennessee, they got to sit in the front part because, the state is honored, whoever the state is. And Bill was in the front row, and he said he'd been to all these ball games where Tennessee comes out and out of the tee and all that stuff and winning, beating Memphis and becoming #1 in basketball and winning national championship when Pat Summitt was there and all that. But he said he never, and he had chill bumps coming over him when that happened, But he said the whole time Bill Clinton was talking to that convention before Al Gore came on, he said, my brother told me he had a chill over him the whole time. He said Bill Clinton never looked at the model, he just spoke from the heart. And he said he had never felt that before.
A teleprompter.
Teleprompter. He didn't look at it. He just knew it.
And Reagan did, and them 2 men really didn't, and like I said.
Well, Reagan was an actor. He knew how to do that. He was.
Saying that now, you're starting to sound like a true Democrat.
No. I'm using this.
Democrats here trying to buzz. I can't get one in edgewise with 2 of you.
No, listen.
This ain't fair.
I listen.
And it starts at the local level, the state level. I know you and Hanser get down there and do your deal.
Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you one story. When Carter was in as president, I had a store downtown in the Globe at Woodson Mall, and I was opening the large store here down on the corner right here. Okay,
right.
My interest rate was 21%. You looking at someone who voted for Reagan? Okay, I voted for Reagan, and I can tell you the interest rates over a period of 3 years went from 21% to 9%, and 9% is high now. But it went from, just think about paying that off at 21%.
Oh, hello, Buzz.
Let me tell you something. And I don't know whether they got the equipment here to where they can play it or not. I actually interviewed Al Gore for my show over at Scott County. And whenever I asked him would he grant me an interview, he said, how long is it going to take? I said, ever how long you want to stay. I said, if you want to stay 5 minutes, you can stay 5 minutes. If you want to stay 2 minutes, you can stay 2 minutes. If you want to stay here the rest of the night, as long as I've got film, we're going to, you're on. And it was a super interview. I mean, and we just talked like down home. He was just one of the good old boys, and I don't vote for good old boys.
Right, right. Well,
No, I was for him.
He got a raw deal on his, and I admit to that.
But at the same time, Nixon got a raw deal in Illinois when Kennedy won.
Right.
Same thing.
And it happens. I mean,
It happens.
I mean, and there's been a few over the time and everything.
When it all comes,
but Bob, no, all jokes aside here.
Okay.
I want to say one thing. I truly appreciate what you do for this community. You are in a position financially to where you don't have to do the things you do. And
Are you saying you don't have to kiss anybody's butt?
No, he don't, but he don't. Bob Phantom is a good man, and he loves his community, and I truly believe, he's a Democrat, so I mean, I've got a little bit against him, even though I trade with him.
You know, I'm a Republican Democrat. I'm a very conservative Democrat. That's what I am.
I truly want to thank you for your service for our community and for the people, because you do stuff that you don't have to do. You don't have to be on here tonight and talk about the stuff, the insurance to help people stuff. You don't have to do that. I'm not saying you've got Trump money. I mean, you might have some of that Bill Clinton money, but you ain't.
I know I don't have Clinton money, but hey,
I'm just aggravating.
You know, I told somebody that
you don't have to do
the Saudi princes, when a Saudi prince from Saudi Arabia is born, just a baby, they're giving more money than Trump would ever have.
Well, hell,
I mean, a baby, and we have. They got. I was reading an article. They've got 121 princes in Saudi Arabia, and from age just being born to age 27, and they've already got, all of them's got more money than Donald Trump.
I'm ready to be adopted. If you know one of them, tell them you got to fill up the valley that's ready.
I hate to let you go, but we're coming up on a going home. And
I know it. Have a safe trip home, and again, Bob Fannin, I appreciate you.
I appreciate
you. Have a good evening, you fellas.
Thank you.
See you now.
And now, folks, Bob, anything else you want to say? Or?
No, just remember the insurance. You've got Obamacare. You've got only this week to go down there at the store or go. He is an expert. He will assist you. You don't have to. You're no obligation. You don't have to buy. I don't get anything. And if you can't afford if you think you qualify for extra help, singles is at $13,500 income. Couples at $27,500. If you make less than that and you don't have extra help, come down and talk to the gentleman. He may be able to help you. I'm not saying he can. He may be able to help you. And those people who've been left out with the United Healthcare Advantage plan and doesn't have insurance right now, if you sign up sometime this week, you will be eligible as of February 1st. So get down there and do what you have to. I know it's snowed, but get out there and do what you have to do.
Okay, folks, let me tell you, I've got, like I say, I've got to go through this procedure this week, and I had it done to where it give me enough time and I will try my best to be back here next week. But if it done, we will replay this show. If we missed anything, we'll replay this show. And I want to thank everyone out there that watches. And you know, I didn't hear from Mr. Henson tonight. I know he's a Republican.
Well, he's a good man.
Oh, he's a good man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and And I don't know, he didn't call in and jump on Bob tonight, because he always jumps on you.
Well, no, we other than one issue, I don't think we ever had
No, I
that
just-
thing.
He always calls in with, and he didn't do
He just has a sore feeling for Mr. Young, and Mr. Young's not been in a city administration business for 10, 12 years, so it's, a long time. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So anyway, my sponsors is True Value Homes in Scott County over in Huntsville. You can give him a call at 423-663-8633 and set up an appointment to where he'll be there. Or I know he always has people on the lot to take care of you. And Ron's Golf Carts and La Follette Indoor Flea Market. It's located behind Long John Silver's. He's always got something there, and today there was a lot of people in there milling around. And good night, everybody, and I appreciate you, all the listeners, and again, my heart goes out to Miss Schlesinger and their family. So good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Hey, this is Mark with Insurance Consultants. You're used to seeing Blake McCoy sitting here, and I'm up here cutting a new commercial for y'all to look at. I help people with have Medicare and TennCare, and if you've got any questions about what you're eligible for, whether you should be getting extra benefits, is your plan changing, or do you even need anything to go with your Medicare, those are the types of questions I can help you with. Please give me a call at 1-866-691-5571. I'll be glad to give you a call, and as always, we charge nothing for our services. If we can help you in any way, we'll be glad to do it. Y'all have a good day.
Welcome to RaisX.
RaisX has a friendly service with a family environment. With that country kick, it's a family owned with delicious food, offering breakfast, lunch, supper all day long, and great steaks, wonderful salmon. Also, for that sweet tooth, pies and much more. For the kids, games, daily specials, dine in or carry out. Call 423-569-3354. Call RaisX today.
Riggs Drugs has been a part of Campbell County for generation after generation, serving our friends and neighbors. And now we have redesigned our store to better serve you. It's the same knowledgeable and friendly staff, but a new look and new technology to ensure you get your prescriptions fast. We've always got you covered from prescriptions to all your home health needs. We've always been more than a pharmacy, still offering a huge selection of gifts and decor. Here at the new and improved Riggs Drugs.
Linda Kilgore, State Farm. State Farm agent Linda Kilgore is driven to save you money on your home, auto,